Hey, so today I'm going to cover what's the number one SEO mistake we see that most e-commerce stores make with their websites that's costing you a lot of money. That's costing you a lot of missed sales. And in addition to showing the number one mistake, I'm also going to show you 7 other mistakes that are really holding back your rank. So let's get straight to it. So the biggest thing is focusing on the wrong things. And this is what we see so often. Most e-commerce stores think that if they think about SEO, think about all the technical details you see on the right here, core web vitals, large contentful points. I'm not going to even get into the details. And on the left-hand side, you're going to see a screen from Screaming Frog, which is a technical SEO analysis tool. And yes, it is important to get those things fixed, but this is on the wrong side of the 80-20. What I mean by the 80-20 is that I would highly encourage you to focus on the 20% of the SEO activities that are going to get you 80 or 90% of the results. And with SEO, the 80-20 principle really applies. So with us, for example, we are working on our client campaigns, helping our e-commerce SEO clients to significantly grow and get a super high ROI on their SEO investment. Of course, we take care of technical SEO part, but that's 5 or 10% of the first 1 or 2 months. And then we just every 3 months, every 4 months do another check, a health check, as you were to go to a doctor. We do the analysis, we run recurring analysis, is everything okay? And if there are some more significant things, then we fix those things. But overall, fixing technical SEO isn't usually what helps. It can only give you, in most cases, up to a 5% boost, but you're not looking for 5%, it's not a positive for you. So that's the first thing, focusing on the wrong things. Now I'm going to talk about some of the next things that are even more interesting and that you can take some immediate action on. So the common mistake number 2 is not doing any keyword research. So let's say you are selling protein powder. Easy example because most people know about protein powder. If you're selling protein powder, you have to know the keywords that your target audience are typing into Google because you want to know how are people searching for your products, and not just on Google, but also on LLM search engines. So what we usually do is we use a tool called to figure out what are the keywords that people are searching for the most. That's the first thing, to figure out what is actually being searched for, because you might have your own ideas how to search for different things. But if most people are using different phrases to search, and if your competitor knows that most people search for protein powder using this particular phrase or this particular search query, then your competitor can optimize their page, their collection page to rank for that keyword. They're going to have an advantage over you. If you're still optimizing or not doing anything, you're still in the dark. If they know, they will have an advantage, and you don't want them to have the advantage because then it's really easy for them to outrank you. So you first of all really need to know your keywords. And secondly, you also want to know how difficult it is to rank for that particular keyword. So let's say that you are going after the keyword. If you're selling protein powder, the main keyword that is being used the most here is an easy example. It's just protein powder. So in this case, it's quite simple. But in most cases, the main head terms are highly competitive, meaning that it takes a lot of effort, a lot of resources to rank number 1 because it's competitive. It's the top rankers that are ranking there. They are earning a lot of money from those rankings. So it doesn't make sense that you just go in there, you press a few buttons, you write a few words, and you were ranking number 1 immediately and start earning hundreds of thousands of dollars every month in sales. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So what I would recommend you do, and what we do for our clients, is to figure out where are the low-hanging fruit opportunities. So which are the keywords that you could get in the fastest, and then start from there, while also on the background focusing on the high difficulty keywords as well. So in the short term, you would be able to rank for some of the lower difficulty keywords and start bringing in some money to fund your other activities. And then in the long term, you are also focusing on the head terms as well, to ideally, in a longer time horizon, to rank number 1 for your most important keyword, protein powder, for example. So in this case, you see here protein powder has a really high KD, which stands for keyword difficulty of, actually this is quite okay. It used to be 15. It doesn't seem that much, although in this case, we always dig a little deeper. We just don't just take this number at face value. For protein powder, I know it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to rank number 1. But yeah, I would also recommend to look for the lower hanging fruit opportunities. So dig a little deeper. There are over 10,000 keywords that you could go after, and even more so. It's just one search, one matching terms report that I did. You could go after longer tail keywords. Best protein powder for women, and best vegan protein powder, best unflavored protein powder or unflavored protein powder. So there's so many keywords. You just have to figure out where can you actually attack, where can you get in, because otherwise you don't know the keywords. You're going to optimize randomly and you're saying that, hey, I figured that protein powder is the best keyword, and accidentally it is. And you start to optimize, you want to rank for it, but I'm not even in the top 100 rankers. What am I doing wrong? You might be thinking SEO doesn't work and I'm going to quit. I'm going to call it a day and I'm going to focus on other channels instead, which would be a mistake because probably there are some other keywords that you could focus on that are much easier to rank number 1. So that's one of the biggest mistakes we see as well. And this is also one of the biggest things we help our clients with, to get them results ASAP. Focus on the long tail keywords and to the keyword research. Third thing is creating random blog articles. So here I just took an example of a website that sells vegan products, and they're doing a lot of blogging. They have 336, and the total monthly traffic to those blog ads is 846. So they haven't done any keyword research either when creating the blog ad. And what this means is that accidentally they are, yes, some of the blog articles are ranking, but because they haven't done the keyword research, they haven't done the competitive analysis, and the total traffic is only at 46. So this definitely is a negative ROI, or they are not making back in return compared to what they invested into creating those blog articles. So think about it. How long does it take you to generate 336 blog articles? That's going to take you a long time, probably at least a year, if you're not heavily using AI. And we're going to get to AI in a minute. But yes, this is a lot of effort, and you're not going to be making any money from it if you're just creating random blog articles. You really need to do keyword research, which ties to the previous point, to figure out what are the things that people are actually searching for in your niche. So what are the keywords that people are typing into Google? What are they asking? Then how difficult it is to rank for those pages. If there's already a Wikipedia article, if there's already a Healthline article in a vegan niche, for example, then might not be the best idea to try and compete with those behemoths, those industry giants. You want to look for the lower hanging fruit and start from there, start to get the ball rolling from there. But also third, if you're doing blog articles, how high are the odds that if someone were to land on that blog article, that they would actually purchase your products? So you have to focus on the three things. So don't just create random blog articles. That's a huge mistake we see being made all the time. So these guys here as well, I would assume they have spent tens of thousands of dollars on those blog articles, and they're basically not getting anything in return. This is super common. And mistake number 4, which is more and more common these days, because it's so easy to generate blog articles with AI. As you can see here, AI content level, it's really easy to detect AI, and it's a cat and mouse game. New AI tool comes out and then it's undetectable, and then in a week later, Google does an update and they detect the AI level that's being used, and then they just tank all the rankings and all of your traffic will drop to 0. So you don't want to play that game. You see here, they have a lot of AI generated blog articles and the traffic to all of them is 0. So you don't want to do that. What we do for our clients is we either create fully human written articles or we create human assisted AI articles, meaning that there's a human editor that provides or adds unique insights that does the editing. These two tiers work the best. 100% human and 50-50 are the best performing content strategies that we're doing right now. But this might change in the future, but right now that's the way it is, based on our testing, based on all the other results we've seen. So yeah, this is what we recommend right now as well. Now the 5th common mistake is e-commerce stores not having collection pages for their important keyword. So this is a little bit trickier one to maybe understand, but I'm going to explain this in a minute, and it's super important. So please try to understand what I mean here. So let's say you are selling dinosaur costumes and dragon costumes and all these kinds of fun. So this website here, onlydinosaurs.com, they are selling dinosaur costumes. And they have a collection page about dinosaur costumes. But the mistake that they're making right now is that if we did a quick keyword research analysis on them to look for the low-hanging fruit opportunities, we see that they are ranking in position number 9 for the keyword T-Rex costume, which has 6,000 monthly searches in the United States alone and has a keyword difficulty of a 0. So quite easy to rank number 1. And the keyword is, once again, T-Rex costume. And they are ranking in position number 9 with their just the dinosaur costumes page. So the mistake I want to point out here is that this is a general collection page. So not all dinosaurs are T-Rexes. Dinosaur costumes can include all different kinds of dinosaurs, velociraptors and T-Rexes, whatever. That's just all come up with from my mind right now. I'm not an expert in dinosaurs, but anyway, this is a general page. They should generate a dedicated T-Rex costumes page on their site. So they can even add a subcategory page for the dinosaur costumes that is mainly optimized to rank for T-Rex costumes, because this is what is needed to rank number 1 in this niche. So if you look at the top rankers right now, Amazon is ranking at the top, and they do have a T-Rex costume page. Then there's Spirit Halloween. Again, they also have a T-Rex costumes dedicated page. Then we have mydinosaurs.com. Again, they have a costume T-Rex page. Then we have Amazon here again with another page. Again, T-Rex here. Then we have another site. Again, T-Rex costumes page here again. Then we have our hero here, and they are sitting in position number 9 with just a dinosaur costumes page. So they do not have a T-Rex dedicated page. So if they were to just create that page, they might not even need any backlinks, or maybe just 1 or 2 to rank number 1, by just creating a dedicated collection page. So if you have the products, if you do the keyword research, you might find some low-hanging fruit opportunities. So this is a massive low-hanging fruit opportunity. And this is just one example. In most cases, there are so many examples of this could help you to generate a significant amount of additional traffic. For example, another easy example that I've talked about before is that, let's say you are selling coffee beans and you have one main coffee beans collection page. And in that collection page, you also have a lot of, a couple of decaf coffee beans. So decaf coffee bean products in that collection page, but you do not have a dedicated decaf coffee beans collection page. So the odds are that you're not going to rank for decaf coffee beans because you don't have a dedicated collection page. And if you look at who's ranking number 1 for decaf coffee beans, they are all collection pages that have a dedicated category for coffee beans. And there are so many opportunities that, and in order to find them, there are multiple tools that you can use. Google Search Console is for free. We use Ahrefs and Google Search Console for our clients. So yeah, there are so many ways to go about it. But this is super important. And this is definitely a low-hanging fruit for most businesses. Even Amazon and Walmart and giants, industry giants, are making this mistake. Although not in this case with Amazon. And now common mistake number 6 is that because most businesses don't know how to build backlinks, which is references or citations from other websites linking to you, maybe influencers linking to you. You send products to influencers and in return they talk about your product and then they link to your product page. This is something that most businesses don't want to do because it's a sales job. But this is one of the most important strategies that we use to help our clients rank number 1. So an example here is that if you look at this keyword, egg white protein powder has 3,800 searches a month in the United States. And here you see the top rankers for this keyword. So the number 1 ranker is Amazon, second is muscleegg.com, third one is overusing.com, and the fourth one is Walmart. So now look at the DERs. This is the domain rating of the site. It's on a scale from 0 to 100, with 100 being the best or the max score. And it's really hard to get a high score here. So usually most smaller businesses are in the ranges between 0 to 30. These two guys here, or girls, are businesses. Their DR is 36, 34, and they are able to outrank Walmart. And why are they able to do that? Is because they have built backlinks. They have built backlinks to their important pages that they want to rank. And Walmart hasn't. This is a huge missed opportunity for Walmart. If Walmart were to build a few backlinks here, they would be able to even outrank Amazon because they also have a super high DR. And also the same with muscleegg. Muscleegg has, yes, they have built 12 backlinks for 5 different domains, but I would assume that this is something we see all the time with our clients. Not always, but most of the time. If they were to build 5 additional backlinks, for example, costing them between $1,000 to $2,000 to build backlinks to this page, they would be able to, odds are pretty high that they would be able to outrank even Amazon. Because this is one of our biggest goals with most of our clients, to outrank Amazon, depending on the niche. And right now, they're sitting in position number 2, getting around 800 visitors a month. Amazon is getting 2,700. So it's definitely worth to build those links to get the number 1. So this is a huge missed opportunity for Walmart and also for many others here as well. Although these guys know what they're doing, probably they are building links. They have been able to beat Walmart. But yeah, just building some more links is important. And Walmart is making the mistake of no links at all. So mistake number 7 is no SEO optimization. I'm not going to get into that in that much detail, but the overall idea is that if your competitor is using on-page SEO optimization tools, which just tell you which keywords to add, let's say they would recommend you to add an FAQ section to the bottom of the collection page or the bottom of the product page and telling you to talk about or cover different subtopics or answer people's questions that they have. If you cover different keywords, if you cover different questions that people have on the page that are relevant to that collection page, you will have a higher odds of ranking. And also injecting the right keywords into the right titles and basically getting an overall better on-page optimization score, you will have an advantage over competitors if you focus on that. This is one of the pillars of our SEO strategy, and this usually works, and you can see here as well. In this example, it's not always the case, but in this example, the competitor with the highest score has the highest ranking here as well. And this one here that we analyzed, their score is only a 23 out of 100. And that's why that's one of the reasons why they're not ranking as well. So they're ranking in the 10th or 11th position here. Mistake number 8, and this is a huge mistake, is that you have no conversion tracking. I'm not saying you, sorry, but most businesses have no conversion tracking. And these are just some samples of the clients that we have worked with. So this client, for example, their business is highly seasonal. They start to pick up in the summer months. That's why you see that. And they basically have no sales because they sell garden sheds and they get basically no sales during the winter months and the sales pick up again. But anyway, that's not the point. The point here is that if you have no conversion tracking, you don't know where the sales are coming in from. So this will show you, do you even need to create blog articles? Which collection pages convert the best? Where are you making the money, basically? And then you can see per channel, is organic social media actually doing anything for you? Is TikTok doing anything to you? Is meta ads? Basically, it's going to show you what works and how well. So then if you want to scale, if you want to bring in more sales, then you would know, okay, this channel works really well. Let's say SEO works really well. The ROI is so high. It's one of the highest ROI that we have. And it's also an investment. SEO as a channel is an investment because if you invest into SEO, it's not just a month-to-month thing, it's a long-term thing. Because even if you stop doing SEO, your traffic usually will increase for some time, then it's going to flat out for a year or two, and then it's going to drop, but it's a long-term channel as compared to paid ads. If you stop doing paid ads, the traffic is going to stop to 0. So yeah, you have to know their numbers, and if you know your numbers, then you will be more confident to invest into the right places, into the right channels. And I'm not saying SEO works every time. That's why it's even more important to know which channels work to then double down on them. I think the final mistake that I have here is most e-commerce stores neglect image optimization. So depending on the niche, but in many e-commerce niches, people would immediately, if they type something into Google, they would immediately go to the image search that you can see here. They will select this tab because they don't care about which specific store sells the product, but they just are looking for the styles or looking for the specific images. So me, for example, This is super subjective to me, but if I were to look for a green couch for my living room, I would go here as well. And I would start to maybe even click on one of those here. But also I would start to look at these images. So I like this one, for example, although I know it's quite trendy right now. So maybe in 5 years down the line, this trend has already gone away, but I still am stuck with this couch. So maybe I don't want to have it. Anyway, I like this one. And I also like this one here. So I would click on those. And there's a specific strategy that you can implement to optimize to rank better with your images. And this is also something we do for our clients as well. So not just the usual image optimization, but also some additional tactics that I would recommend. That's it. So I hope this video was helpful for you. One offer that I have is that if you are running an e-commerce store and if you would like to get a free video audit from us, where we look at where are you ranking right now, who are your top competitors, and what are the gaps, what do you need to do to outrank them, and also what are some low-hanging fruit opportunities, the T-Rex example I gave you before, and other similar examples, like what could be some things that you could do to rank better ASAP. If you want that audit, go to the first link in the description, fill out the 2 or 3 questions, and me or someone from our team would record it for you and send it over. And then it's up to you if you want to hire us to help you to do the work, or if you want to do the work by yourself or with your own team. So thanks again. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.